Hi, I'm going to start with an introduction to your program, which is a very versatile and a very interesting program. So through this, I'm going to help you to understand certain nuances which are very relevant for you at the onset to know. So the program involves understanding major components of the course like areas of exploration, the 7 conceptual understandings, global issues, making clear connections to the core like the TOK, the EE, and the CAS, your thorough understanding of different text types, establishing and creating a very divergent learner portfolio for yourself, and understanding all of the assessments. Let's start with the principles of the course design. It wants you to know that how will you do the integration between language and all communicative forms, with a renewed emphasis on interconnectedness and synthesis in terms of within and between the texts, as well as the writers and the readers. The variety in selection of texts, the autonomy for teachers and students alike, more requirements as well, but definitely more freedom allocated to them. Very important, you must remember as an IB student, accountability in terms of meeting the requirements of the course and ensuring academic honesty. The aims of this program are designed to enable the students to engage with a range of text types in a variety of media and forms from different periods, styles, and cultures, to develop skills in listening, speaking, reading, writing, viewing, presenting, and performing, to develop skills in interpretation, analysis, and evaluation, to develop sensitivity to the formal and aesthetic qualities of a text and appreciate of how they contribute to diverse responses and open up multiple meanings, to develop an understanding of the relationships between texts and a variety of perspectives, cultural contexts, and local and global issues, and an appreciation of how they contribute to diverse responses and open up multiple meanings, to develop an understanding of the relationships between studies in language and literature and other disciplines. Of course, to help you communicate and collaborate in a confident and creative ways, and to foster a lifelong interest in and enjoyment of language and literature. The objectives of your assessments are to know, understand, and interpret a range of texts, works, and/or performances and their meanings and implications, contexts in which the texts are written and/or received, elements of literary, stylistic, rhetorical, visual, and/or performance craft, features of a particular text type and literary forms, to analyze and evaluate ways in which the use of language creates meaning, uses and effects of literary, stylistic, rhetorical, visual, or theatrical techniques, relationship amongst different texts, ways in which text may offer perspectives on human concerns, and to communicate ideas in a clear, logical, and persuasive way, in a range of styles, registers, and for a variety of purposes and situations. There are 3 blanket areas of exploration that you must know. They are readers, writers, and texts, time and space, and intertextuality. When you're looking at readers, writers, and texts, ask these questions. Why and how do we study language and literature? How are we affected by texts in different ways? In what ways is meaning constructed, negotiated, expressed, and interpreted? How does language use vary amongst text types and amongst literary forms? How does the structure or style of a text affect meaning? And how do texts offer insights and challenges to the readers? When we are looking at the area of exploration of time and space, we can ask these questions. How important is cultural or historical context to the production and reception of a text? How do we approach texts from different times and cultures to our own? To what extent do texts offer insight into another culture? How does the meaning and impact of a text change over time? How do texts reflect, represent, or form a part of cultural practices? How does language represent social distinctions and identities? Intertextuality. How do texts adhere to and deviate from conventions associated with the literary forms and/or text types? How do conventions and systems of reference evolve over time? In what ways can diverse texts share point of similarity? How valid is the notion of a classic text? How can texts offer multiple perspectives of a single issue, topic, or a theme? And in what ways can comparison and interpretation be a transformative process? Furthermore, we delve into the 7 conceptual understanding which form the basis of your inquiry. They are identity, culture, creativity, communication, perspective, transformation, and representation. I'm going to take you through all of them. So, when we are focusing on identity, we look at the multiplicity of perspectives, voices, and characters. We try to see the relationship between the writers and their perspectives or the voices within the texts. And we explore the reader's understanding of the self before, during, and after the reading. Culture. Culture is central to the study of language and literature. The relationship between a text and the context of its production and reception. And the relationship established between an individual text and the writing tradition that precedes it. Communication. This revolves around the relationship that is established between a writer and a reader. The extent to which writers facilitate communication through their choices, the nature and the notion of the audience, and the amount of cooperation a text demands from a reader, and the readiness of the reader to engage with the text. Perspective. A text may offer multiple perspectives which may or may not reflect the views of its author. Consider the context of production and reception in terms of how these may shape or come to shape perspective for you. Transformation. Very closely linked to intertextuality. And we see this as the complex ways in which texts refer to and inform one another, like appropriating aesthetic means. Remember, the act of reading is potentially transformative itself, both for the text and the reader. Representation. The extent to which language and literature relate to reality has been a subject of ongoing debate amongst linguists and literary theorists. Writers also debate the nature of language and literature in this regard. And central to both perspectives is the ways in which form and structure interact with and relate to meaning. We'll be exploring a lot of global issues. You'll do that a lot in your IB journey, and we'll go into further depth in another section. Your text types and requirements. This understanding is imperative. There are literary and non-literary texts in the IB journey. So your texts, literary, are drama, the essay, which is a teacher's discretion, novel, poetry, short story. Non-literary is everything else. Some of the following could be considered to be literary: a parody, biography, speech, diary, letter, memoir, manifesto, essay, and travel writing. And collections of essays will be considered literary. So you do see that there is a little overlap here. So please go to your teachers and consult with them to confirm. Now, when you're looking at text selection requirements, you need to know what's a body of work. So what constitutes a work? 5 to 8 essays, 10 to 15 letters, 15 to 20 poems, 5 to 10 short stories, and a film. The requirements and variety are at least 2 works in translation, at least 3 forms and types, at least 3 time periods, and at least 3 places representing at least 2 continents. Now, what's your learner portfolio? Remember, it's essential, but it's not assessed by the IB. It doesn't add to your assessment, but it definitely adds to your success. You should have a sense of autonomy and responsibility for your own learning in your learner portfolio. You can show that in any manner that you want. There are multimodalities. The student's choice of using a paper or using a digital media is entirely up to you. So your portfolio can include reflections, explorations, evaluations, critical analysis. experiments with form, media, and technology, research and reading notes, notes on class discussions and presentations, record of feedback received by the teacher, self, or peer. Even the selection of suitable extracts for your individual orals can be represented in your learner portfolio. Remember, this is done to show your journey. This is roughly your assessment criterion, your paper 1, paper 2, IA and HLSA, and I'll go into depths as I delve with them individually in coming sections. So just to give a little detail, paper 1, you have 2 non-literary passages, 2 different text types. HL students do both, SL student will pick one. Paper 2 is a literary comparison of 2 literary texts where you have a choice of 4 questions and you do one from there. Your IA is an oral representation of study that you've done based on a global issue around 1 literary and 1 non-literary text. And the HLSA is just for the HL students where you submit an essay on 1 non-literary text or a collection of non-literary texts by an author. There are a lot of more details given about all of this individually furthermore. All the best for your journey.